Our Nation Sports Show. Tonight, we break down Week 13 in the National Football League. It is hard to believe, but there is one full month left of the regular season. Some of the games we recap include, finally, a great Thursday night football game at AT&T Stadium between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. Also, we break down the rematch of the NFC Championship game in Philadelphia between the Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. Plus, we bring to you Week 14 of our Prediction Battles. It's showtime.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, which means you wanted the best. When it comes to the world of sports, you got the best. In honor of KISS, of course, what's going on, everybody? It is Ezra Vickery here. This is our Nation Sports Show. We thank you guys for joining us this week, as we always do. And boy, do we got a lot to get into. An action-packed week of NFL, some NBA stuff going on. Of course, a little bit of college ball going on, too. And some big news coming out of the multiple sports we're going to talk about here tonight. A lot of little things to get into. And, of course, our prediction battle, of course, Hijacker Mike, once again, will be joining us again at 8:15 Eastern to do his predictions as well. So definitely can't wait to have him on. Unfortunately, Kevin cannot be on. He has a family obligation. But he did send in his predictions, though, for this week, which we will read off later in the show. But let's get to the ways you can interact with us. And that is, of course, right now on the YouTube at Our Nation Sports Show on YouTube. Find us there, youtube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. And, of course, you can get us at twitter.com/ON_sports show, facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and instagram.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Don't forget also to follow our individual social media accounts listed in the bottom of the description. Don't forget to follow Nation's Corner, of course, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time on Saturdays with all talk in the wonderful world of pro wrestling. And, of course, that features everybody. It features a rotating cast of characters with our main core being Front Row, Tony Justice, Deb Housen, and, of course, Mongarovian Mike, with appearances at times from our boys R.A. Davis and, of course, the ass kicker 9,000 man, John from South Jersey. Don't forget to follow Nation's Corner at The Nation's Corner, on the YouTube, and, of course, Nation's Corner across most of the socials, and The Nation's Corner on Instagram as well. And don't forget to follow at Too Sweet Cosplay, which is my Chicago-based cosplay group out of Chicago. We do pro wrestling cosplays. Follow us there, and keep an eye out for updates concerning our con schedule starting next year, which, of course, begins with C2E2 2024. October 26th through 28th at McCormick Place in Chicago, Illinois. So keep an eye on that. Well, details on that, whether we'll be appearing as a featured character or we'll be there just as attendees. You'll see. But enough spiel, enough promoting myself as I always do, because I like doing that because I'm selfish. But It is what it is. Let's go to our crew here. And of course, like I said, no Kevin tonight, but no problem. We got with us JT. And no, I'm not talking about Justin Timberlake reuniting with his boys in NSYNC. I'm talking about Joey Thornton. What's up, buddy?
What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having an amazing Tuesday. And let me just say real quick, I am still on cloud nine after what happened on Sunday with Alabama being voted into the playoff. Let's go. Bring on the Michigan Wolverines. We about to rock the house down. Let's go.
We'll see about that. I'm not even a Michigan fan, but I don't care either way. So, but we'll see what happens. It should be a good matchup. Nonetheless, Alabama, Michigan Wolverines is going to be hell of a contest. We'll see that really, really soon. And of course, we can't start the show without the patriarch of this show. And no, we're not calling him our father like Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus do to Christian Cage, but he is our heavy metal brother from North Carolina. That's right, folks. He's more authentic and real. He's more authentic and he's in the living flesh, unlike the Kiss avatars that'll be touring a town near you. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Stevie Wyatt. What's up, brother?
Oh, those avatars make me sick. But you know what doesn't make me sick is hanging out with you guys here on the World Wide Web, talking about the world of sports, a little bit of wrestling, and of course, a little bit of rock and roll and music and all that good stuff. And we are here today to recap Week 13 in the National Football League. And there actually were some really good games this past weekend in the NFL. And like Joey mentioned, he actually mentioned this last Tuesday on the show, I want chaos on Saturday. Well, you got chaos after that Georgia and Alabama game, and after the result of Alabama Crimson Tide beating the Bulldogs on Saturday, 27-24, and now they are inserted into the college football playoffs. And we're going to get to all of that and more. And with that being said, let's go. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but real quick, though, before we do get into the NFL highlights, I do want to say that even though there were some good games, there were also some good old-fashioned dumpster fires.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely. Of course, why wouldn't there be? It is the NFL after all. Anything can happen on any given Sunday. You know, so
that's what I love about Sunday.
Craig Morgan reference. I love it. Of course, I'd be the one to get that, as I always do.
Yep.
Yep. Let's get right into it, folks. We got a lot to get into, and of course, as many of you know, the Final Four, the college football playoffs have been announced. I'm trying to look up the list, but every time I look up the list for it, it gives me 25 other fucking things. Joey, do you have the list in front of you?
For the college football playoff?
Yes. Do you have the list in front of you? Can you name off the teams?
Yes. It on January 1st at 5 o'clock on ESPN, it will be number 1 seeded Michigan taking on number 4 seeded Alabama. And then later on that night, 8:45 Eastern on ESPN, it will be the number 2 Washington Huskies taking on the number 3 Texas Longhorns, who, might I mention, are making their very first appearance in the college football playoff, becoming the 15th different team to do so.
And of course, with the college football playoffs, and of course with the Texas Longhorns, becomes a tie-in to, of course, professional wrestling. Because the other night at the Texas Longhorns game, several WWE superstars and Hall of Famers appeared at the Texas Longhorns game, including Jade Cargill, of course, who just signed to WWE, Samantha Irvin, ring announcer, and none other than the Undertaker himself was in the crowd.
Excellent.
They presented that special announced a partnership between the Big 12 and the WWE with a custom championship created for them. And I'm not talking about just a WWE logo title with a side plate. I'm talking a brand new custom belt made from scratch. And it looks really awesome. And of course, Taker presented it in that moment to the Longhorns for winning. So with that being said, that was a cool moment. But anyways, it's gonna be great. Washington Huskies taking on the Longhorns. Longhorns' first appearance in the college football playoffs, and of course, Michigan Wolverines And Alabama Crimson Tide is going to be one hell of a matchup. It's going to be, to me, the game to watch because you got Alabama that's once again with that virtue win over Georgia, getting into the playoffs, and they're going to be looking on to take on a Michigan team that's been absolutely dominant this year. And I'm not the biggest college football watcher or fan, but I have paid attention to the Wolverines, and how can you not with the local market here promoting it every 5 minutes? But it's especially on the local news channels. But both matchups are going to be intriguing to watch. It's going to be interesting to see how Texas responds to the pressure of being in this type of situation as they haven't before. And of course, Alabama, who's not only been in this position but has won the whole damn thing and won championships. So this is not news to them, obviously, but it's going to with Michigan. It's going to be a tough task, but we'll see what happens. I know Joey's full tilt on Alabama, obviously, because that's his home team. But I mean, anything could happen on any given Saturday, quote unquote. So we'll see how this goes. I'm excited to see who's going to win this and move on. But
the biggest thing for me, to add to this is Bama, out of all of these teams, has the most experience in this because they've won it all so many times. And honestly, it would not surprise me if they win it all again, just from the fact that Nick Saban, will get his guys ready. And
absolutely.
I mean,
and as a matter of fact, Bama is the only team in this college football playoff field that's actually won the national championship.
So I honestly will be shocked if Bama does not win the college football title again, just because of the experience that they have. So we will see what happens. I mean, I think a lot of the pressure will be on the rest of these teams that haven't been in this stage ever or hardly at all. I mean, it's crazy how Bama just shook the entire college football landscape with this win. Because if Georgia wins, they're in it. They're in it. It's simple as that. But the fact that Bama went in there and won, it just shook up the entire landscape. And got to give Saban a lot of credit. He got his kids ready to go out there and do battle, and they did it. And I will be shocked if they don't win the championship again. But it's crazy. It's crazy to think where they were 4, 5, 7 weeks ago. They were not even being talked about as a team that, could compete, possibly getting into the tournament. But now, here they are because of some critical victories they've had the last several weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, week 2 loss to Texas. Everybody was counting us out already because for years and years and years, especially when Georgia went on their repeat performance back in the 2021-2022 years, everybody was saying, oh, the Bama dynasty is done. Bama ain't good no more. Bama ain't going to be able to make it to the playoffs anymore because everybody's figured them out now. Yeah, here's the thing. Nobody can ever figure out any team, no matter how many times you play them, no matter how much film you study, no matter how many playbooks you look at. Nobody can figure a team out. I mean, teams are going to have their good games and teams are going to have their bad games. And that week 2 loss against Texas, that was definitely one of our bad games. I will admit to that. But knowing that we were able to shake off that loss to Texas and beat teams such as Texas A&M, Auburn in the Iron Bowl, and especially getting our revenge against Tennessee and LSU and even beating Ole Miss, I mean, everybody kept counting us out in all of those games. Everybody was. But we rose above the hate and went to the promised land playing Georgia in the NFC Championship, who, keep in mind, was coming in with a 29-game win streak, winners of 41 out of the last 42 games, including beating Bama in that stretch. But that one loss that they had going into the SEC Championship was against Alabama back in 2021. But ever since then, Georgia has been on top. Nobody's touched them, even though teams have come close. But this past Saturday, they finally got outplayed by a very durable, tough, physical, and mental-minded Alabama squad.
Mhm.
So, I mean, Alabama was just a better team on the field, hands down. And they deserve to be in the playoff. Now, I will say that I feel for Florida State because them going undefeated, finishing 13-0, even when their quarterback went down, their star quarterback went down in that game against North Alabama a couple weeks ago. I still feel for them because, me personally, I feel that they had a legitimate case to go to the playoff. But at the end of the day, whenever Jordan Travis went down for Florida State, even though they won all their games, they just weren't a competitive team by my standards. That offense really took a step back. And the defense, even though they tried to put Florida State back on track, they were able to. But at the same time, it just wasn't enough. And I know Florida State fans are heavily upset. I know they are, and they have a right to be. But just think, me being an Alabama fan, just like all the Alabama fans back there, we were in the same situation last year.
Mhm.
So now Florida State fans know how we feel.
That's true. I mean, and not only that, but like you said, Joey, like if you don't have, your star athlete under center, the records don't mean nothing. Because let's just say if Florida State would have gotten into the tournament, no offense, they're probably going to lose the game, the first game of the
Oh yeah, because
of the semifinal.
Yeah, because Michigan players, they were watching the playoff selection show in their little clubhouse or in their little field house on Sunday. And
Oh, yeah.
I know Michigan fans were like, you know what, I want to play Florida State because I know that we can beat Florida State because they don't have the star quarterback, and I know that we'll be able to go out there and beat them. But then they saw Alabama pop up on the screen, and the first thing I heard was like, oh, man. And I'm like, yeah. Coach Jim Harbaugh is shaking in his boots because if there's one thing that Michigan has not faced this year that they will face on New Year's Day, it is a team that actually comes from a conference that knows how to play defense.
And if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I am shaking right now.
Yeah, I would be shaking in my boots. You better believe
If I know
would.
that I gotta get my kids ready to play this squad and they're hungry, you know what? That right there gives teams even more motivation when the media says, when they hop off the bandwagon, they say, oh, you don't have what it takes anymore to win another championship title. And Nick Saban's going, okay, you think that? We'll show you otherwise. And look what these kids have accomplished, in Alabama. They took all the naysayers, took their words and shoved it right up their asses. And then you got Michigan, the Wolverines, they may be the top dog in the playoff bracket, but I don't trust them as far as I can
They
throw
are
them.
just as vulnerable as any other team that's out there.
Any team, any of these teams can be beaten. This is what makes these four teams that are in this spot right now that is so interesting, because on any given day, either one of these teams have the right to call themselves champions. And even if Georgia was in this, I would be sitting here the same, on the same, time saying this, because Georgia and Bama, equal teams, but Bama was just better that day. And that is the reason why Bama is in the spot where they are in the semifinals, and Georgia will not be. They will be playing in one of the high bowl games. And it's just remarkable how this entire season it looked like Georgia again was going to be right there. It looked like Bama was going to be on the outside looking in for the first time in quite some time. And the old guard in the SEC is right back where they believed they still belong after all of these years. And I know everybody is sick and tired of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide being in this spot. Well, if you want greatness to be gone, take them out. Beat them.
Do something about it.
Beat them. Tom Brady in the NFL played for 23 seasons, 7 Super Bowls, 14, 15 conference championship games, 10 Super Bowls. You want to beat the best? Beat them. Take them out. Win the game. And
yeah, no, I was going to say, Steven, Jim Harbaugh might suffer 2 major losses this year. The loss to the Alabama Crimson Tide and a loss to the College Football Appeals Board.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
he couldn't appeal a suspension. Why not?
Yeah. How fitting. He's facing Alabama on the 1st of January. It might be a new year in about 3 weeks or so, but it's gonna be, in my opinion, the same result. Alabama will be playing in the national championship game come January.
I mean,
8th.
I wouldn't. Here's the thing: I wouldn't freaking put it past Michigan to somehow pull it off, because you know that I fully expect Alabama to move on to the final game. But to be honest with you, I expect you can't not expect Michigan to possibly pull out an upset. Anything is possible. It doesn't matter if you're Alabama, Georgia. It doesn't matter about the coaching or whatever. You screw up once, and that's all it takes for a team to gain momentum and move on and take that momentum to the next level and win the game. So I would put past Michigan to do something like that, but I fully expect Alabama to dominate and move forward again. And as far as Washington and Texas goes, Texas has been on a roll lately, and they got momentum behind them, but I don't know, man. That's a tough one to call. I mean, I would go with the Longhorns just as a safe bet, but I mean, it is their first playoff. It is their first playoff selection, so it's could be the pressure could be too much for them.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll see. Like I said, in a couple weeks we'll be starting that run to the final game. So the college football playoff finals and all that will be coming up sooner rather than later. So keep an eye on your local listings and all that stuff for more information as it becomes available. But of course, we got to get to a little bit of NBA news, and NBA, of course, is in the middle, is pretty much is bowling forward as it always is. Of course, the in-season tournament right now is still going on. NYSWA.com being a piece of shit. I have no idea. But let's see here. Real quick in the world of the real quick from Adrian Wojnarowski on Twitter, of course, is who I go to all the time for his stuff. And right here. Let's see. Chris Paul and Andrew Wiggins are both probable for tomorrow's game against Portland. That's according to Steve Kerr. Both participated in practice and scrimmage today. Apparently, they have both been out for a little bit. And Pacers are going to get a huge boost tonight because they're looking to get back Obi Toppin and Tyrese Halliburton. So Pacers are going to have two of their biggest players coming back. I expect 140, 150 point performance. They only had 123 points, I think, the other night. It was an off night for them.
Only?
Yeah.
Only.
Hey, calm down there, John Bush. You said only, Steven. Why not?
I did. Little Anthrax reference.
Yes. There's optimism that Kristaps Porzingis will return to the lineup this week. Porzingis has been out season 30 quarters versus Indiana Monday but there's increasing confidence he'll be back in Vegas for the Final Four should the Celtics advance. Let's see. Memphis Grizzlies signed Jalen Noel to a 10-day contract. And also, Luke Kennard is expected to return from a left knee bone bruise in another 2 to 3 weeks. Marcus Morris Sr. will start for Batum and Patrick Beverly for Maxey. Let's see. What else? Real quick. So right here that oh, here we go. The Portland Trailblazers have been awarded a $5.8 million disabled players exception in the wake of Robert Williams III's season-ending injury. Yep.
He cannot stay healthy at all.
Listen to this stat. Historic November for Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton. 28.6 points per game, 11.7 assists per game, 53% field goal percentage, and 47% from three-point range. Only Michael Jordan and LeBron James ever averaged 25 and 10 with 50 and 40% shooting in the month of November.
Unreal numbers.
Halliburton's been on a damn roll as of late, man.
Yes, he has.
Well, he got a big boost because he got to interview Bailey at the SummerSlam press conference. So,
He's riding on cloud 9 after that.
Yeah. Let's see what else here real quick. God, is NBA.com being a pain in the ass? There we go. Let's see here. Also, real quick, going on tonight in the games, we got the Bucks taking on the Knicks, and the Lakers taking on the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, this has to be Kevin that just joined the chat. What's up, dude? Yes, bird hunting season is going great.
Kevin's on there?
Yes, this has to be him. It says Niner Gang.
Yep, that's Kevin.
What is up, our brother?
Thank you for joining us for a brief minute on there, sir.
Hope the game's going good.
Yep, hope the game's going good and everything. And
go Raiders.
As he put the felons, I think he put. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out his team
his score predictions.
I read some of them. It's glorious.
Oh yeah, I read them. I usually don't, but this time I had to read them, and it was hysterical. We'll be getting into that in just a second, but those are the two games for tonight: Suns and Lakers, and Knicks and Bucks. Of course.
Yeah, so keep in mind, those are the next games for the in-season tournament. So after tonight, we're going to be down to just 4 teams.
Yep, absolutely. And they'll both be on TNT back-to-back. So definitely get on TNT, go to TNT app, whatever you got to do, and watch those games because it's going to be very competitive. But because the Pacers and the Pelicans have advanced to Las Vegas already, so.
Which that actually is kind of surprising to me because I figured that Boston and Sacramento were going to be the ones to move on to Vegas. But, gosh, I mean, the Pacers and the Pelicans, they knew what they had to do. I mean, the Pelicans was the one that really surprised me, seeing as how they had to go into Sacramento and beat them. But
yeah,
just to show that anything can happen. Any team can have a bad game at any point.
That's right.
Yep. Also, real quick, 76ers Kelly Oubre Jr. is expected to return to the lineup tomorrow. After he was struck by a vehicle back in November, leaving him with several injuries, including a broken rib.
Wow. Nice. He's already made a full recovery, ready for in-game action once again. Nice job.
Good for him.
I wouldn't expect him to go back on full minutes. I expect him to be limited for the first couple of games and then slowly start to bring him back into the fold. I don't expect him to play his regular minutes. I expect him to be kind of to get him acclimated, and once he's ready to boost his minutes back up to his full regular play. So But really, that's about it. I really don't have much in the way of too much in the way of NBA news. Really, that much. It's been kind of quiet outside of a few things. So let's move on to our favorite, the NFL. Whew. In the NFL, there is a lot to get into, news-wise, injury-wise, and we'll start off with, of course, unfortunately, the injuries, and that is, of course, one of the biggest ones yesterday, and that was the injury to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence suffered a high ankle sprain in the fourth quarter in last night's game, and he went down pretty quick, and he tried to get back up. He threw his helmet down on the ground, pounded his fist into the turf, and was upset that his ankle, that he suffered a what looks to be a high ankle sprain. We don't know when his return will be, but he's hoping that it's of course a 1 and not a 2, as Steven mentioned earlier in our pre-show get-together. So
Yeah, I mean the injury last night, it looked worse than what the reports are, because I thought, oh no, oh God, another Achilles injury, maybe a leg injury. I mean, you never know. Like when his body folded up like that, just you don't fall like that to the turf. Like your body is not meant to fall at that kind of an angle. And just he come tumbling down, and then he tries to get back up, and then he immediately falls back to the ground. I mean, he just knew right away that something was wrong, and obviously slamming the helmet into the turf and his fist into the turf. I mean, I get it. You're frustrated. You just got hurt. You're on national television, and you had one of the best games of the weekend. I mean, and not just of the weekend, but also of the season. I mean, this was a great game last night, and thankfully his injury is not an ACL injury or an Achilles injury. At least it's a sprain, so he can come back. But the question is, what's it going to be? A high ankle sprain, number 1, or number 2? And if it's number 1, he'll be out for at least 1 to 2 weeks, or possibly 3 weeks.
Yeah, it sucked for Trevor Lawrence in that game because he was doing pretty well, had some good plays, and then unfortunately he just went down. And we hope for the best for Trevor Lawrence. We hope that he gets back soon.
What were you going to say, Joey?
Yeah, what were you going to say, Joey?
Yeah, I was going to say that not only that, but also having your ankle stepped on by your own offensive lineman, which I know wasn't his fault. The defensive guy kind of pushed him into Lawrence, but still, just the fact that that's how you get hurt, it's got to be rough.
Oh, yeah. And, the lineman felt bad, for...
Yeah, not only did your ankle roll, but you also get your fucking foot stepped on by a 300-pound man wearing cleats.
And at that kind of speed too,
You might as well just go ahead and have somebody step on you with a shoe layered with thumbtacks.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much at this point, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we wish Trevor Lawrence the best, and we hope he gets back real soon from this high ankle sprain. And hopefully it's just a high ankle sprain 1, and it's just only a couple weeks out, and then Jacksonville could get back to. But here's the thing. And then the crazy thing is that right after Trevor Lawrence got injured, CJ Beathard, who stepped in for him, had an injury to his left wrist.
Even though he had to stay in the game because he was the only other quarterback left on the roster.
Yeah, they don't have no wide receivers who could throw, so.
No.
And the Jaguars also lost Christian Kirk to a groin injury, so he actually suffered a core muscle injury, according to Doug Peterson, and it may require surgery.
Oh man, I mean, you lose him. That's one of your big key ingredients on your offense being successful.
Yeah. Let's see here. Also real quick, let's see. Miami linebacker Jerome Baker suffered an MCL injury and is considered week to week. Let's see. Oh, here we go. the Texans lost one of their key wide receivers, Tank Dell. He's out.
That was a ugly
Oh
injury.
yeah, Tank Dell.
Yep, out for the rest of the year with a season-ending ankle surgery.
And honestly, he should have not been in that play, where he got injured. Like, that right there was just where they had him out on the field. It was just not a good idea. And that resulted in the injury. I mean, I feel bad for the young man because he had a great season with the Texans and being one of CJ Stroud's favorite targets to throw to. And he'll be back, but it's going to be a long, long recovery time.
Yeah.
For Tank Dell.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. Other big news that I'm pretty sure this is just as pretty sure it's like the sun is bright, rain is wet, and John Moxley bleeds. Derek Carr is back in concussion protocol.
Oh my God! Like the triple whammy of an injury, shoulder hurts, concussion, and what was it? I think like his ankle or something like that. I'm like, dude, like you cannot stay healthy. I mean, I know Anthony Davis gets clowned on, but can we start putting Derek Carr in this mix? Because Derek Carr for the Saints has not been staying healthy all season long. Like, that's bad. And the Saints, again, they had multiple opportunities, and they blew every single chance in this game. Inconsistent. The Saints are on offense.
Yeah. And that means that Jameis Winston comes back into the fold. So,
Mr. 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in 1 year.
You get a pick. Then you get a pick. Everybody gets a pick.
He's the Oprah Winfrey of interceptions.
Yep.
Kenny Pickett underwent season-ending ankle surgery.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yep, for the Steelers. So now they're signing free agent quarterback Trace McSorley to the practice squad. Let's see. Some positive news, and this goes for the Eagles. All-pro linebacker Shaquille Leonard is signed a 1-year deal.
That's
a great move by Philadelphia.
Great move. So, yeah, all the rumors of him possibly going to Dallas have now been squashed, and honestly, I couldn't be more thankful.
Yes.
Titans punter Ryan Stonehouse will have season-ending surgery.
Interesting.
Oh, and the Steelers, when they take on the Patriots, quarterback that will start will be none other than Mitchell Trubisky.
God help us all. Please.
Oh, and positive news for the New York Football Giants. Tyrod Taylor will return to practice.
You mean the guy that actually can drive the Giants down the field?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Daniel Jones sure as hell can't do it. Oops, did I say that loud?
And Tommy DeVito,
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, he needs to be going back to acting class or back to starring in movies. But you know what? Maybe Tommy DeVito could be in the sequel to Matilda if they reboot that movie franchise. God hope they don't. But he could be the guy getting the hat glued to his head instead of being on the football field. Just saying.
God help us all.
Let's talk, and then of course, let's talk about the man who's been getting banged up a lot, and that's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts got hurt in the second quarter. Was evaluated for a concussion and apparently was good to go, and they put him back out.
I mean, let's call a spade here. I mean, we're going to get to the game here in a little bit, but during the rest of that game, Hurts was not the same.
Nope.
No, because he was probably concussed.
Yep.
You know, post-concussion syndrome, that happens.
Lots of injuries this weekend.
Yeah, CJ Stroud had to take a visit to the medical tent, but came back out. You know, so a few things, but a lot of injuries, a lot of unfortunately bad stuff.
Yeah, but you can't forget about one of the biggest injuries of them all. Mr. Derrick Henry had to leave in the fourth quarter because of him having to suffer concussion.
Yep.
And Derek
Right.
had a great game on Sunday against the Colts.
Yeah, but it has
Kind of a
since
return to
been
form, yeah.
Yeah, but it has since been updated that Henry is not in concussion protocol and should be good to go for this week.
Oh, and by the way, the Browns have announced they have signed to a contract Joe Flacco.
Oh, good for them.
Oh, good for Mr. Flacco. Finally getting back in the pros.
Joe Fluco, as I like to call him.
Luca.
Go.
Oh, but real quick, if all goes well, which it probably should, then we're going to be seeing a huge return take place on Sunday. Yes, folks, I'm talking about Mr. Justin Jefferson, Jay Jettis, is going to be making his return on Sunday.
There we go.
There we go.
And by golly, do I need him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I just
So does a lot of other people.
I just hope there's going to be a quarterback who I should throw to him.
Oh wait, as I was scrolling through the news here, there was some college news I gotta get to. USC is finalizing a deal to hire UCLA defensive coordinator Danton Lynn.
Interesting.
UCLA finished number 11 in total defense this year. In the first year there this season, improvement from number 89 the year before. So there you go on that real quick. Let's see. Oh, Zach Ertz is free to sign with any team that he wants.
Ooh, you know that any team that could use it, even a Super Bowl contending team or even a team that desperately needs an offensive weapon, they're going to go after him because when he's on a really good team, he's dangerous.
Yeah, one of the teams one of the teams that have interest in him is his old team, the Eagles.
Well, not surprising. Not surprising.
Yeah. Especially since Dallas Goedert is more than likely going to be out the rest of the year. Smart. It'll be a smart move by the Eagles so they can pick him up.
And he's familiar with the playbook.
That's right.
Yep. And also other candidates include Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo.
Ooh, either one of those teams could use him too. Honestly, Kansas City could use him more on those other three teams because they don't have a true number 2.
No, they don't.
Let's see. How about this? Let's talk about this. Von Miller turned himself in after allegedly assaulting a pregnant woman.
Wow.
That happened a few days ago. There was a warrant out for his arrest after this woman had filed a domestic violence charge against him. He's facing a charge of third-degree felony assault of a pregnant woman, which is punishable by 2 to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. He was booked on a $5,000 bond and released a short time later.
Wow.
So you got that going on. And I know you want to talk about this. I know this is a very hot button topic from last night's game, and that was the I believe it was during the 49ers Eagles game. Of course, there was an incident between the 49ers linebacker Dre Greenlaw and the Eagles head of security Dom DeSandro, where Dom had supposedly physically touched him and gotten involved in this brawl on the sidelines. Which is so the league right now is reviewing this incident and will follow up with the Eagles this week on what punishment or any sort of ramifications will be for that incident.
Honestly, the guy deserves to be at the most. I wouldn't say fired, but I would definitely say at least a lengthy suspension because he had no right to put his hands on Dre Greenlaw like that.
I saw a clip of the video, and the video clip that he didn't even really. I know one part of the clip he didn't even touch him. I'm not sure if that's just part of the clip that they put on here. I'm looking at the video clip right now. And yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I mean, to me, like, I don't care if you're the head of security for any team, you do not have the right at all to put your hands on any player.
No,
Oh, absolutely not.
no, what he did, what I'm seeing from the video is he shoved his arm back because he had his arm in his face and he shoved it back, but even still, you're still under NFL policy. You're still under the guidelines of the NFL, so you shouldn't be putting your hands on anybody, regardless if it's defensive or offensive. So, yeah, I don't want him fired myself. I personally if anything, he should receive a suspension for that, kind of to learn his lesson.
I would say for 2 games at least.
Yeah, at least
2 to 3 games at the most, and just call it a day. It's not that big of an issue. It wasn't like he punched him in the face. It wasn't like there was that much physical altercation. It looked like it was more of him just whacking Dre Greenlaw's hand away, and that's exactly what he did. So that was more or less what it was. It wasn't like he physically assaulted him. So
nah.
Compared to some other things we've seen in the past, this is child's play. So I'm looking up the footage right now. So also, I think if I remember right, there was something else I was going to say about this week. Well, actually, let's go ahead and let's get into the review of the games real quick while I think about it. And there was some pretty interesting scores and some pretty interesting games this week, just to say the least. And of course, we started off with the Thursday night game, and the best Thursday night game so far, as Steven said in his intro. Cowboys and the Eagles Cowboys and Seahawks in a very competitive matchup. Cowboys won 41-35.
Finally, a great game on Thursday. Back and forth, these two teams win. Just very competitive. I mean, Dak had a good game, 299, 3 touchdowns. Geno Smith had 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, just both teams came out, played a great game. Tony Pollard had a touchdown in the game. Played pretty well. He didn't get a lot of yards, but he got some significant yards that kept drives going and stuff.
And 3 touchdowns on the Seahawks went to DK Metcalf, who had 6 catches for 134 yards.
Amazing performance. Absolutely amazing performance.
Yeah, he had one hell of a game this week. Geno Smith, of course, one of those touchdowns was a rushing touchdown as well. So, of course, Geno Smith showing his legs in that one. Let's see here. Also, the Chargers beat the Patriots 6-0.
Speaking of dumpster fire games, here's one of them.
Oh my God. 6-0. If I was a Patriots fan and I paid tickets for that game, I would immediately be requesting a refund because that was the most boring game of the weekend. Awful. Just the drizzling shits.
2 second-quarter field goals was the only scoring of the game. Pathetic. But then again, what can you expect from a team that has Brandon Staley as their head coach and a team that, well, actually, he didn't even play because Mac Jones. Wait, who?
Mac Jones!
Who? Mac Jones!
Got benched and didn't even play the game because it was Bailey Zappi that played the whole entire game.
Yeah, he got zapped.
Hi, yes, he did.
He got zapped by the Chargers.
What a coincidence.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. In another competitive game, the Lions and the Saints. Lions won 33-28.
Now, this was a good game.
And, of course, like we said, Derek Carr got unfortunately concussed, and Jameis Winston had to step in. But even then, it wasn't enough. The Lions, of course, just in a complete team right now, and of course they got a pretty easy challenge ahead of them by my standards coming up next week. And we'll talk about that when we get to the score previews for next week. So, but also also going on, the Falcons beat the Patriots in a wacky score, or Jets, 13-8.
Oh my God.
Wow,
Tim Boyle
nice.
throws another interception in this game.
Did they get a safety?
They did. That was the first score of the game.
Hijacker.
2-0.
Hijacker will love that.
It was 5-0 at one point, and then Atlanta scored the touchdown. I'm like, oh my God.
5-0. That sounds like a
Oh
score.
my God.
That sounds like a score in the MLB playoffs.
Yep.
Usually after the Braves get eliminated, but
But I digress.
Oh my God.
I couldn't resist. Oh, if I can't whoop your ass about Alabama Crimson Tide, I'll get you with the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah. You can try.
Yeah, just like your team tried in the playoffs but failed.
Screw you!
Oh, I love it. All right, and the Cardinals finally won another game. They beat the Steelers 24-10.
Oh, and not just finally won the game, but finally this game got completed because 2 times this game was delayed.
Delayed.
Tonight on Where Is My Raincoat? For those that don't know that little reference, a little play on it's a play on YouTuber urinating trees tonight on Days of Our Steelers. So yeah, but I figure I'd throw my own little twist in there with the raincoat reference because it was raining hard in Pennsylvania over the weekend.
If only it was too bad it was December, because it might have been, because if it was last month, it would have been November rain.
That's right.
Anyways, moving on from that. Speaking of raining, it is fucking raining outside like hell. I can hear it from my air conditioning unit. 31-28. Colts beat the Titans. Derrick Henry with a great game, but in the end, Gardner Minshew and company are rolling forward.
Man, just a crazy back and forth game this was as well in Nashville. And Gardner Minshew, man, this is why I always say that backup quarterbacks are very important, especially with, having somebody who knows your system, like Gardner knows, the system that Shane Steichen ran over there in Philadelphia last year and took him to the Super Bowl, and having Minshew there, he may not be the original starter that they had in mind, but he is definitely serviceable, and he had a pretty good game, and he led the Colts to yet another victory despite no Jonathan Taylor. He still threw the ball good, couple of touchdowns in this game, and Indy 7-5.
Yep. Pretty good run so far for Indy, but Dolphins absolutely wrecked the Commanders 45-15.
Oh my goodness. Tua Tagovailoa along with Tyreek Hill had a fantastic game. Tyreek Hill was way on his way to 2,000 yards receiving, had 2 touchdowns in this game, including a 60-yarder. Just remarkable.
5 catches for 157 yards.
Crazy. Yep. Tua staying healthy, putting up good numbers, but let's see if Miami can do this against competitive teams.
Well, we probably won't see a competitive game this week for Miami. But
nope.
Then again, if Derrick Henry has another beastie game like he did, it just might be competitive.
Maybe.
You never know.
Yep. Also, the Texans beat the Broncos 22-17. Texans moved to 7-5 on the season.
This was a good game as well. Denver did not.
Came at a loss because of Tank Dale.
Yep. And Russell Wilson and company fought back in this game.
Stroud I mean, CJ Stroud is. I mean, he's pretty much got Rookie of the Year wrapped up.
Oh yeah.
And rookie
He's-
offensive player of the year as well. I mean, just
If he
this
doesn't
kid is
have-
playing great.
If he does not get Rookie of the Year, there's something fucking wrong with this voting process.
Tell me about it.
Exactly. I mean, the numbers that this young man has been putting up, he's playing at not such a rookie level. And this is usually right here at this time, especially when a rookie comes into his first year and he's putting up these kind of numbers, even though you can't really tell by the first year of the season. Usually you'll be able to tell a couple years down the line, okay, is this going to be the next superstar, quarterbacks? Because right now, he's putting up some like Peyton Manning-like numbers, some Tom Brady numbers, some Drew Brees numbers, some even, Patrick Mahomes numbers. I mean, this young man he's having a great season for Houston. And they absolutely got a steal in that draft with him at quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
I honestly think they would have picked Stroud if they still had that number 1 overall pick. But the fact that Carolina was so dumb enough, they had the number 1 pick right there in their grasp, and they picked Bryce Young over him, bad move. Bad move.
Hence why the Panthers lost his next game against the Bucks 21-18.
Yep.
1-11.
Yeah, and seeing to think. Carolina won't even have the number 1 overall draft pick if it even results that way, because it'll go to Chicago.
They're tanking for no
God.
reason.
Literally tanking for no freaking reason whatsoever.
I was gonna make a joke about that team's going down harder than, but then I'm gonna leave. But then I don't want the show to get canceled, so I'm leaving that alone. Let's see. Oh, the Rams beat the Browns 36-19.
That one actually kind of surprised me. I did not think Matthew Stafford was going to be able to actually hold his own against a tough defense like Cleveland.
Yeah,
But he did.
Stafford played a hell of a game, man.
Cooper
And-
Kupp once again showed up and had a pretty solid game as well.
Yep. The 49ers beat the Eagles 42-19. Now that was a surprise.
Woo!
I wasn't surprised that San Francisco won, but I was surprised with how bad they beat them.
I would expect the game to be a little bit closer, but man, by 23 points, damn, what a fucking performance!
Brock Purdy had a hell of a performance against this Philadelphia defense. And what's just so amazing about this win with San Francisco is how in the first quarter versus the rest of the game, it was a tale of 3 quarters after that. The entire game flipped in the second quarter. Philadelphia had 2 drives that resulted in 2 field goals. San Francisco's first 2 drives resulted in no points and 2 punts. And then the third drive, once Purdy and company got down the field and scored the first touchdown, at that point in time, the game changed. Brock Purdy had a great game. Deebo Samuel had a outstanding game.
Yep. One rushing touchdown, two receiving touchdowns. Grant total between the both, a grand total of 138 yards, 38 total yards. He had 4 catches for 116, and then he had 3 carries for 22 yards with a touchdown. So
just this playmaker. He's not a receiver. He's not a running back. This guy is a playmaker. He is a game-changing playmaker. He's a hell of a talent, and nobody can stop him when he's healthy. And just this defense is hungry. This defense is the best defensive unit in football, bar none. No questions asked. The hell with the records. They're 9-3. They came in there with a mission statement, wore all black, and absolutely beat the living hell out of Philadelphia on the road. I mean, it was an unbelievable performance. And
absolutely. And real quick, I want to throw this fact in there. Nobody in that stadium or nobody even watching the game knew that this was going to happen, knowing that the 49ers had -6 total yards in the first quarter.
Amazing.
Nobody thought this performance was going to happen.
I mean, we got to give it credit. We all picked San Francisco to win this game because we had it in our minds thinking that San Francisco was going to use this game as a revenge game, and they did. And Deebo Samuel said before the Super Bowl, we should be here. We should have been here, not them. And if Purdy would have played, we would have beat them by double digits, and they did.
Yep.
They made the Eagles look awful. I mean,
they made the Eagles look sick.
I mean, that right there just goes to show you that you are who you play. You know, you might be 10-2, but your record doesn't mean nothing to me. Oh, you're 10-2. Jalen Hurts had 14 consecutive games where he beat teams with winning records. That's all great and all. But
now that's dead in the water.
And not only that, but I'll add to this as well real quick. You know who this team reminds me of? And you're going to call me crazy, but they remind me of the 22 Minnesota Vikings. Why do I say that? Because they have had 6 games this year where they have won by single digits or less.
One possession games. Honestly, I agree with that 100% because Minnesota Vikings last year, they were the luckiest team, and I mean the absolute luckiest team last year, going 11-0 in one-score games. And now this year, it's biting them straight in the butt because I think they're like, what, 1-6, 1-7?
Something like that, and this could be a bad sign for Philadelphia come playoff time because you've already lost to a contending heavyweight team at your own stadium. Mm-hmm. San Francisco walked into your building and absolutely made a mockery of your franchise. Stomped you into the turf. Literally. Brock Purdy had an outstanding game. And that defense, my God. I mean, Chase Young is the secret weapon to this defense being dominant as they are, along with Nick Bosa, along with Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, and just this entire Niners defense is so good. So good.
Yeah, see, and keep in mind that with Hufanga being out for the season with a torn ACL, you would think that San Francisco's secondary would have probably taken a step back, but
nope.
It hasn't.
Their mentality is the way it should always be with all these teams. Next man up.
Yep. Oh, and real quick, how about I can't remember his first name, but Lenore from the San Francisco 49ers absolutely leveling the absolute crap out of DeAndre Swift.
Oh, yes.
I mean, he leveled his butt so hard.
He leveled him good.
Lord.
Leveled him good. I mean, it was a dominant performance from the beginning of the second quarter onwards. I mean, just San Francisco, when they are healthy, they are by far the best team in the National Football League.
Yep, I agree on that. I definitely agree. The Chiefs lost to the Green Bay Packers 27-19.
I got something to say about this game. Travis Kelce.
I got something to say about this game. Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for that. Kansas City.
Hold on. People.
I mean.
Now listen to Steven.
Travis Kelce. I'll just say it right here, right now. Ever since he has gotten together with Taylor Swift, she has literally sucked the absolute life out of that talent that you call a tight end.
Too late for you and your white horse to come around.
Travis Kelce has not had a productive season since he has gotten with Taylor Swift. I'm sorry.
He has not.
It's true. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers that he has had this year versus the last 6-7 years combined. Hell, even last year in total yards, touchdowns, all the whole 9 yards. Travis Kelce has not had a productive season all year long, and I partially blame Taylor Swift. There ain't no Madden curse, buddy. It's also a Swiftie curse.
I mean, honestly, I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Kelsey's gotten a touchdown the past couple weeks.
Nope. And you know what he also had last week against Philadelphia? Fumble.
Fumble.
You're going to see bad blood, but I digress.
Or a couple weeks ago, fumble. And he kind of has bad blood as well. So we'll add that as well.
Bad blood.
His season is death by 1,000 cuts.
Well, right now he sure can't shake it off.
No, he cannot.
All right, I'm done with Taylor Swift puns. I'm gonna vomit from this.
Well, just think, if Kelsey continues to struggle, he can always go back to December, as in last year.
Oh my god!
And if Travis Kelce and these receivers don't show up, the Chiefs are going to be in some trouble.
Dude, I knew Taylor was trouble when she walked in, so shame on her now.
Okay. All right, Steven, I think we better stop with the Taylor Swift pump before Ezra kicks both of us out.
Well,
no. I just wanted to stop myself because I would continue on for days with this shit. But
well, I mean, we know definitely when she walked in, Love did not walk in. Just saying.
Okay.
Well, that's true. And also, once I would say that once Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce do break up, it sure as hell ain't gonna be no love story for Travis Kelce.
Or no love song.
No, she'll just tell him we're never ever getting back together.
Oh my god.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the show. Thank you. No.
Thank you. Come again.
Good night, try to veal. Jordan Love had a hell of a game, man. 25, 36, 267, 3 touchdowns, no picks. AJ Dillon had a good game carrying 18 carries for 73 yards. Not a lot of work on the passing game. I mean, obviously Christian Watson's, of course, is his favorite target. 7 catches, 71 yards, 2 TDs for Christian Watson, and Ben Sims had a 1-yard touchdown as well. But
there is something I do want to bring up that's not Taylor Swift, so don't worry, you ain't got to worry about anything.
No, what's up, man? What you got?
But once again, a point was proven that we have said multiple times on this show over the past several weeks, months, and even the past couple years.
Yep.
Officiating has once again ruined the game of football because that no call on that obvious pass interference right there where Valdez-Scantling could not catch that ball was the worst no call I have ever seen. I mean, the guy's hands were all over Valdez-Scantling, but did the refs call it? No, even though there was a ref right there looking at it. I mean, what the hell, bro? I can't understand this horrible officiating. I mean,
not only that, but to add to what Joey's talking about, when Mahomes got hit and they called it out of bounds, rough, unnecessary roughness, he was in bounds.
Yeah.
So the bad calls was everywhere. It's ridiculous how these officiating crews are getting in the way of these games.
Absolutely. It is absolutely amazing as to how soft the NFL has become over the past couple of years because of all this officiating. I mean, if we could go back to that smash mouth football from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, oh, please. I mean, I would love to get back to those days, but we're never going to see them again because of this horrible officiating.
And here we go, guys. Joining us right now, of course, the host is Smoking in the Bay and Nation Night Fights is, of course, our boy Hijacker Mike. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the show.
What's up, Hijacker?
What's up, y'all? What's going on?
What's going on? We're just finishing up.
I can see you're doing us live from the cigar lounge again.
Yeah, it's getting dark outside, so I'm going to kick it inside where I have a little more light.
Yeah, I know. The shadows start going on your face. People think we have like a serial killer on our show.
Yeah, or The Undertaker Part 2 as resurrected.
Yeah, we were just talking about got one more game to talk about. We were just talking about some of these games from this past weekend in the NFL, and I'll bring it up to you because we were just talking about it. That total beatdown by San Francisco against Philadelphia. I mean, they marched into Lincoln Financial Field and made a mockery of that football team and got sweet revenge.
Yeah, it was insane, because I was sitting here at the lounge. I'm 49er fans, and there was a few Eagle fans here, but since this is 49er country now, pretty much out here in the Bay Area, everybody was panicking in that first quarter, even though Philly only put up 6 with 2 field goals on their first 2 possessions. But negative 6 yards and 3 possessions in the first quarter is not what you want to do. That is a tough situation. But after that, the lights kind of flipped on in the second quarter, and they were gone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just Brock Purdy had a great game, 314 yards passing, 4 TDs, and Deebo Samuel with 138 scrimmage yards, including 116 yards, receiving and that touchdown as well. I mean, and Christian McCaffrey with another touchdown. I mean, just this team. I mean, they have a complete roster. Their O-line is great. Their defensive front is great. Their linebackers are great. The secondary, even with the injury, to Yvonga with the ACL injury. These boys are tough.
Yeah.
And Chase Young has been a difference maker since he's been there.
Yeah, man. This past weekend, this was probably one of the better weekends of football in a couple of weeks. You had a couple of close games. You had, Green Bay defeat Kansas City. You had, Cincinnati beat Jacksonville last night?
Yeah, last night. That was a great game. And we're fixing to get into that one, too. I mean, that was a really good game as well.
Yeah, and then Dallas. There were some great games this weekend. And it was insane to just sit there and watch some of these games and actually have a good time enjoying them instead of seeing blowouts.
Yeah, Colts and the Titans, another one.
Yeah,
and the Broncos and the Texans.
Yeah, was it one game or 2 games went into overtime this weekend?
You had
2. 1, 2.
Colts, Titans, and Bengals and Jaguars.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, last night's game. Yeah, so, it was a good weekend. When you have a weekend where the underdog beats the favorite, that's a good – I know it's not good for the fans of those teams, but we had a good weekend because we had some teams go down that shouldn't have. And then a game we thought was going to be good ended up being a blowout.
And that's the thing about this league that's so great is it's how unpredictable it is because you don't know which one of these games could be, the highlight game of the week or the season, period.
Exactly.
And then of course when you look at what happened last night, because we're going to get into that here right now, actually, that Bengals Jaguars game last night, the unfortunate injury to Trevor Lawrence, suffering a high ankle sprain. Going down real quick. It seemed like a no contact injury at first, maybe another torn Achilles, maybe something along those lines. Luckily, he got by with just a high ankle sprain, but we don't know if it's a high ankle sprain 1 or if it's a high ankle sprain 2. And of course, those are the differences in how long he'll be sitting out for. He may sit out for only 1 to 2 weeks, maybe the most 3, or he might be done for the rest of the season if the Jaguars make the wild card or the playoffs or whatnot. So we don't know yet on that front, but I mean that looked devastating at first, and we're glad for his sake that it's not something more serious.
Exactly. You don't never want any season-ending injuries, man, especially the ones that happen in the first couple of days of the season or games of the season, especially training camp. And then when you're running down that stretch, getting into the playoffs, you don't definitely want to see that shit.
No, and the Texans lost their big wide receiver, one of one of C.J. Stroud's biggest targets, Tank Dell, to a season-ending ankle injury.
Yeah.
So the Texans are without one of their biggest weapons.
Yeah.
It's been a great week. I mean, obviously there was a stinker game. Obviously, Chargers Patriots 6-0 win for the Chargers. Obviously, that wacky 13-8 score with the Falcons and the Jets.
And Mike got his wish that game.
That's stuff in
Safety.
They had a safety in that game.
First points of the game is safety. At one point, it was 5-0 Jets.
Safety. How about that?
That's the first thing I thought of. The first thing I thought of was like, ooh, hijacker.
We should have had nothing but safeties in that game. You could be first and goal, first and goal on the one, just drop back 99 yards and get a safety.
That was the only chance the Patriots had of winning this game was safeties. 4 safeties, and they would have won the game.
All right, let's get to the scores, guys. 7:15. Let's fucking rock this shit. All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
I believe you have some numbers for us.
Indeed, I do. We had one winner this past week. Ladies and gentlemen, that winner is Mr. Stephen Wyand, being the only one to hit double digits in wins this week, going 10-3. Ezra and I tied for second with a record of 9-4, and then Kevin rounded out the field going 8-5.
Yeah, and I my first bad week, 6-7. I'm under 500 for the first week, even though I didn't have any week 1 picks.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Once again, our picks this week is brought to you by Mongrovian Mike Centrum. Because when you're as old as Mongrovian Mike is, you need to take something for your memory.
When you yell at little kids, when you yell at those little kids, when you yell at your fellow baseball team, when you yell at anybody in music.
I'm sorry, that's Prevagen. I'm sorry, that's Prevagen.
Yep.
But there you go. All right, first game is the Thursday night game on Prime Video, which gladly it's on Prime Video. New England Patriots take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh.
And we are back to shitty football on Thursday nights. Oof.
Good thing I work.
It's going to be awful.
Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-7.
Give me Pittsburgh in this one. I'm going to go 17. No, see, scratch that. I'm going to go 17-3.
Okay.
All right, Kevin is picking the Steelers over the Patriots 9-3. And I'm going to go with the Steelers as well. I'm actually feeling a little odd on this one. Give me the Steelers. I'm going to go 13. Let me go 13-9.
Let's see.
Let's see. And Hijack, could you give your score?
He's in a second.
No, I'm sorry, I was talking for a minute. Give me Pittsburgh 21-13 versus New England.
Okay.
Do we have any scores from William?
No, he's actually not in the chat.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Must have something come up tonight.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the first Sunday game, and then it's the Tampa Bay Bucks going to the ATL to take on the Falcons.
Divisional matchups are always intriguing.
Yeah, but when it's in this trash of a division called the NFC South, you can't really expect much.
Nope. That's why it's Tank Division.
Yeah, but I'm going to go and start things off with Kevin's score. He's picking the Falcons over Baker's Bucks 20-19. I'm actually going to go with the Bucks on this one. I don't think the Falcons really have been that good of a team over the past couple of weeks. And they're really suffering from a quarterback controversy right now because both Desmond Ridder and can't believe I'm saying this, but Taylor Heineke, neither one of them has really been the answer for Atlanta this year. So
Nope.
I'm actually going to go with the Bucks in this one. I'm going to go 19-14.
If you say that Taylor Heineke is the answer to your quarterback problems, then you have more problems than that.
Well,
Exactly.
he was when he was in Washington.
True. So with that being said, I am actually on your side, Joey, with this one because I don't trust Atlanta. Atlanta they don't intrigue me. They're not trustworthy in this division, and especially they're not trustworthy at home. And I think obviously Baker Mayfield, unlike Desmond Ridder, or Heineke, he's actually had a better season than those two combined. He's got better receivers. He's a better quarterback. And with that being said, give me Tampa Bay 20-13.
Okay.
All right, give me Tampa Bay in this one, 20-10.
I'll take Atlanta 27-24 on this one.
Oh, he's signing with Kevin on this one.
I like the contrary of opinion. I like that. All right.
All right, next.
Next game is the Rams taking on the Ravens.
Winning streaks must come to an end. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens in this one. I think it's going to be pretty close, but I'm going to give the edge to the Ravens 24-17.
All right, Kevin is picking the Ravens over the Lamb Chops, 31-20.
What was he watching? The Lamb Chops play along when he came up with that score?
Oh yeah, this
Probably.
is. Don't make me start singing the song. I will go off on that. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well. I think the Rams got lucky last week, so they're playing a much better, more determined Ravens team who are actually coming off a bye. So give me the Ravens in this one. I'm gonna go 31 to, let's say, 16.
Yeah, give me the Ravens in this one, and by the Ravens I mean Marion Raven, Raven the wrestler, Raven the band, Edgar Allan Poe's Raven. And give me the win. And 24-13. And give me the win. No. Raven impression. Scott Levy. Not Raven the band. Give me Baltimore in this one. Give me Baltimore 27-20.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take Baltimore 31-23 on this one over the Rams.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next one. It's bear hunting season, unfortunately, as the Detroit Lions go to Soldier Field to take on Chicago.
Oh God.
Give me Detroit in this one. I'm not even gonna start. Just give me Detroit in this one, 34-13.
Let's see. Kevin is going just about the exact same score as you, Ezra. He's going the Lions over the Cubs, 34-12.
Give me Detroit. 31-10.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the Lions as well. I'm going to go 33-13.
Yeah, give me Detroit 35-9. Chicago gets 3 field goals out of 6 tries.
Two of them doink off the post.
Cody Parker.
Yeah, we had a
thanks
couple
you.
of those this past weekend, didn't we?
We
Yes,
did.
we did.
And
Yes,
Cody
we
Parker
did.
thanks you for those
Before-
doinks.
Yeah, but before
Text
we
in the
go
mail.
on, I actually have a bonus score I want to give to you guys. Bye week 24, Commanders 3. Because we freaking deserve a bye week, and my God, we're awful.
This just in. Beverly Hills 90210, Cleveland Browns 3. There you go. Let's see. Indianapolis Colts up next, going to the jungle to take on the Bengals.
Ooh, this is a tough game.
Yeah, Kevin is picking the Horseshoes over the Bengals, 28-24.
Whooshoes!
Give me, give me.
You know what?
Go ahead, Joey. What you got?
I'm actually going to give the edge to the Bengals because what we saw from Jake Browning last night, I mean, this dude might really be onto something. So I think it's going to be close, especially since, I mean, this is the Colts. They have been known for having off games and on games, and we've seen a mixture of both this year for the Colts, but I really think Jake Browning has something going here for Cincinnati. So with that being said, give me the Bengals in this one. I'm going to go 27-21.
Ooh, I'm going to go to a similar score to that. I'm going to go Cincinnati as well because Indianapolis they're not a consistent team. You know, they have times where they win 2 or 3 in a row, then they lose a couple in a row. And I just think with Jonathan Taylor not being there, I just don't think that they're going to be, able to. I mean, yeah, they got Gardner Minshew there, but I think that Cincinnati they're at home. They're riding that wave of momentum. I think it's going to be a close game. I got the Bengals winning 28-24.
Okay.
All right.
Give me the.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, give me the. Give me the Bengals in this one. Give me the Bengals in this one. 28-24.
Same score. Nice.
Yes.
All right, hijacker.
I got Indianapolis coming in with a win on the road, 23-21, and a banger that'll go down to the end of the final guy.
Oh, I like it.
Wow.
All right, next game. Next game is Jacksonville going to take on the Cleveland Browns.
All right. Kevin has the Dotted Cats over the Browns, 23-20. I'm gonna go. You know what? This game might actually be tough because if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, that immediately gives the edge to Cleveland because C.J. Beathard, he's decent, but he's nowhere near the caliber of a decent back or of a above average backup quarterback. So, I tell you what, man, this one's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. I don't know.
What game are we mulling over here?
Jacksonville,
Jaguars and Browns in Cleveland.
Okay. Well, while everybody thinks about it, I'm gonna say Jacksonville 28, Cleveland 17.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it, especially if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, but I'm going to go with the Jaguars. I'm going to go 23-17.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it as well. I'm going to go Jacksonville. If Lawrence was playing in this game, I would outright pick Jacksonville with confidence. I do think they're gonna score some points. I think it's going to be a close one. I got Jacksonville 20-16.
yeah, give me Jacksonville. Give me that one, 24-14.
Okay.
All right, next game is the Carolina Panthers going up against the Saints in Nolans.
Oh, dear.
Yawn.
Give me the Saints in this one to absolutely bludgeon the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to go 27-3.
Give me the Saints in a shutout. 17-0.
All right, Kevin is picking the Saints over the Kitty Cats, 20-10.
Give me the Saints in this one. Give me the Saints in this one, and especially with no Derek Carr possibly, because of the concussion. Jameis Winston may start.
And obviously Taysom Hill may play backup quarterback at times.
Yep. So give me New Orleans. It's not going to be a high scoring affair. Give me it 17-3.
All right. Well, I got New Orleans winning this one 19-10, but New Orleans is going to get 5 field goals, 2 safeties to Carolina's touchdown
Oh
and
my
field.
god.
Fuck it, you guys want to get in the safety game? I'm going to get in it right with you.
Oh my god.
This
5
is
field
the
goals and
next
2
level
safeties.
shit right here.
My god, this is some crazy shit.
Dude, we're booking this shit better than Tony Khan books AEW.
Oof.
Yep. Oof.
Fire me! Fire me!
And ladies and gentlemen, next week I will be fired and not be on the show.
Dude, if we got paid, I'd give you a raise.
Oh my
Well, we
god.
know because Steven's too cheap.
You see, what's crazy to me though is if Hijacker actually think the Panthers are going to get a touchdown while the Saints get 5 field goals and 2 safeties.
Wow.
Man, the chances of the Panthers getting a touchdown, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna leave it alone.
What?
No, moving on.
Go ahead
Actually,
and say it.
it'll be a turnover in their red zone. That's how they'll be able to score because I'm sure they can get 20 yards on offense. Sorry.
Dude, the chances of the Panthers scoring the touchdown is just as unlikely as Jim Cornette not being an asshole. There you go. Okay. All right. We all picked the scores, right, for this damn game?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on from
Yes.
this trash heap. Let's move. Here we go. The Texans taking on the Jets in New York. In New York.
Oh,
Give me the Texans in this one. Give me the Texans 31-13.
give me the Texans. Give me Houston to put a whipping on the Jets. 30-6.
I'll take Houston 24-19. How's the weather going to be out there in New York anyway? Anybody know?
Probably just like the team. Awful.
Yeah, I'll stick to it. 24-19 Houston.
Watch it be like 60 degrees and sunny out in fucking New York in the middle of December.
What? Oh, you know what?
All right, so everybody's going with Houston so far, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so sorry, but my wife was telling me something real quick about NXT, but I'm gonna go with the Texans in this one. I'm gonna go 24-7, and Kevin is picking the Texans 21-10.
Let's confirm this, shall we? What is the weather going to be in the shadows of New York City on Sunday?
Oh. Greco would
let's-
be unhappy with you on that one there.
According to the weather, it's going to be 58 degrees and cloudy. Okay, whatever.
I was
but-
close.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
Real quick, I know we don't really talk much about wrestling, but I feel like this needs to be brought up real quick. She was actually telling me that there is now going to be a new challenger for the North American title match at NXT Deadline because Wesley has to undergo back surgery.
Yep, that sucks.
So he's going to be out for at least a year.
Yep, that's terrible.
Mm.
All the best to Wesley, the rascal. But moving on from that, it is Minnesota Vikings taking on the Oakland Raiders, or actually formerly Oakland, now the Las Vegas Raiders, I guess.
Now you've depressed me, and I think I'll sign off for the rest of the show now. Thank you.
Well, let's see. Kevin is picking the Vegas Penitentiary Inmates over the Vikings, 24-20.
That name is the greatest thing ever.
Not like CD Lamb, CD Ball, but I digress. Give me Minnesota in this one. Give me Minnesota. Give me Minnesota 26-14.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Minnesota as well, seeing as how this more than likely will finally see the return of Mr. Jay Jettis, Justin Jefferson, returning to the Vikings lineup. So as long as they can have a quarterback that can actually throw the ball to him, I'm going to go with the Vikings in this one. I'm going to go 20-13.
27-13, Minnesota.
Look, I had a certain team that played in the city, Ezra just said, to win, but since I'm sitting here, I've kind of made a swap, and I'll go with Minnesota 17-14 is which I had the Raiders at that choice. But I will say this one note. The head coach, Pierce, is a good friend of my wife's, and he calls her to tell her, look, you and your husband need to come back. And no, thank you. No, thank you.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pulling for him to get the job. He seems like a cool dude. I understand he wants to bring back the old school Raiders, but you left me. I'm not traveling to Vegas to see y'all. That's the way the ball rolls.
And the hell with that traffic, too.
Mm-hmm. I like to tailgate, and they don't tailgate out there. So,
yeah. All right. Next game is the good one. Seattle Seahawks taking on the Santa Clara 49ers.
Santa Clara.
Rematch from a couple of weeks ago on Thanksgiving.
This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, give me the 49ers in this one. I'm going to go 31-23.
You know what? Same score as mine. San Francisco, 31-23.
Nice.
I think it's going to be a little bit closer. Give me this one 30. Give me this one 34-30.
Ooh. Okay.
I think Gino's going to have one hell of a game.
Yeah, and Kevin's picking the Niners over the Sea Chickens, 27-20.
Oh, okay.
Give me Santa Clara 37-28. It should be a game, but Santa Clara will pull away in the
score. Let me guess. 5 touchdowns and a safety.
Half a safety because they're going to call it back.
So it's a 1.5.
All right, next one is Buffalo Bills taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead.
Hot damn. This is going to be a game for the ages.
Yeah, this one's actually going to be pretty rough.
31 give me. You know what? If Buffalo's been inconsistent. They've been really inconsistent. They haven't played what they usually play. It's been a rough year for these guys. I mean, they had a major amount of major injuries already at the beginning of the season, including losing one of their key players to a torn Achilles. So, but also Travis Kelce, the Swift factor. So,
you can call it that. It was a Swift factor and his football talents being sucked out of his body.
You know what? I'm going to just give me the Chiefs in this one, 31-28.
Yeah. Kansas City 31-17 over Buffalo.
Yeah, if Buffalo was playing more consistent, I would maybe have a shot at picking them, but I don't think that they can hold up because of the inconsistency that Josh Allen has had this season. And I think that this will put another nail in the coffin for the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go with Kansas City as well. I'm going to go the Chiefs 28-21.
Okay.
All right. Kevin is picking the Bills in an upset in this one, 30-24.
Okay.
And believe it or not, I'm actually going to side with Kevin on this one. The Chiefs, to me, have not been playing that consistent football because Mahomes, it feels like he hasn't been himself over the past number of weeks.
Yeah,
And
that's true. And where's the
I
game
really,
at?
and I really think Josh Allen wants to guide the Bills back to the playoffs. And seeing as how they are at 500 right now, at 6-6, I feel like Josh Allen is going to do whatever he can to step up, swing the momentum in their favor, and actually get a huge win in this one on the road. So I'm going to go with the Bills
Wow.
in this one. I'm going to
Okay.
go the Bills on a game-winning field goal, 31-28.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a valid point by you guys, that are picking Buffalo, because that Josh Allen is going to want to do whatever he can to put this team on his back, and he knows that the margin for error for the Bills is slim to none now.
That's right.
Yep.
We shall see.
Yep. Everybody gave their scores right on that one.
Yep.
All right, let's go. Moving on. Next game is the Denver Walmart Great Value Black Friday Holiday Broncos taking on the Bolts.
Give me Denver. The Chargers are the kings this year at breaking their fans' hearts. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I'm going to go Denver 23-20.
Okay.
And here's why I say 23-20. Interception in the end zone. Herbert.
Oh, nice.
Give me
You know what?
Denver. Give me Denver 20-18.
Ooh, a safety. I love it.
No,
Oh, look at that
not a
score.
safety. Not a safety. It's not a safety. What's going to happen is Chargers are going to be up 18-17. They're going to march down the
Whoa.
field goal for the win.
Okay.
Well, if the Chargers are going to score 18 points, and that means Cameron Dicker's going to have to ice his feet after the game.
Yep.
I'll go with the Chargers on this one, 24-17 for the upset with Denver. But Chargers are at home, so I think they'll get the W on this one.
Okay.
All right. Kevin is picking the Donkeys over the Chargers, 26-13. And I'm actually going to go with Denver as well because Staley's already on the hot seat. And
That seat's catching hot fire.
After this game, that hot seat is going to be even hotter. So give me the Broncos in this one. I'm going to go 23-13.
Okay.
Into the fire.
Me sola fire feeling hot, hot, hot.
All right.
Sunday night football, baby.
Yes, Sunday night football in
What a match.
Texas.
And what a matchup. It's the Eagles going to Arlington to take on the Cowboys.
I'm telling you one thing. I'll go and start this one off with Kevin's score. He's picking the Eagles over the Cowboys, 34-30. And honestly, I'm going to side with the Eagles on this one because after getting the absolute shellacking of a lifetime dealt to them by San Francisco this past Sunday, this Philadelphia team is going to go in mad. They are going to go in determined. They're going to go in ready to play. And they're going to be ready to stomp anybody who gets in their way at this point. Which, in this case, I hate to be Dak Prescott, but I think Dak's going to struggle in this game. I really think he's going to struggle. So, with that being said, give me the Eagles in a surprisingly far-off score. I'm going to go the Eagles 31, Dallas 14.
Whoa. Outright confident you are with Philadelphia. And I love that, because I could see that comparison why Philadelphia would march in, with that kind of determination. And I'll say this right here, right now. The media says Dallas is one of the top teams in the NFL. You know,
They
Dak
also say
Prescott,
that Dak
MVP.
Prescott is in the running is the front runner for the NFL MVP. Yeah, right. In what century?
Like, seriously, the people in the media, hello, what planet are you on? Planet delusional? Because whatever these analysts and these so-called experts are thinking, they are so up the Cowboys' ass. I want to see the Eagles go in there and beat the living piss out of this team. But I think it's going to be a close game. I am going to go with Philadelphia. You know what? Scratch that. I think Philadelphia, like you said, Joe, is going to go in there and they're going to lay it on them. I'm going to go Philadelphia 31-20.
Okay.
I think it will be close at first. I think it will be close, but Philadelphia will punch it in for another touchdown. It will be 24-20, and then they'll score the touchdown to seal the game.
27-24, Philly over Dallas.
Ooh.
I don't trust Dallas. I do not trust Dallas in a big game. Prove me wrong.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go with Philadelphia on this one, 28-24 in a close game for Sunday night. I'm also running short of time, so I'm going to throw you the last two games, the two Monday night games, right?
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I got Miami 21-14 over Tennessee, and I got Green Bay 24-13 over the Giants. Got to roll, guys. Appreciate letting me rolling with you. Once again, like I said, today, Smoke in the Bay released another review. It is J.C. Newman Cigar Company, Angel Cuesta Doble Robusto cigar. So if anybody interested in that, go check it out. Gentlemen,
all right.
I'll catch up with y'all next week.
All right, I appreciate it, bro.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right,
take it easy, man.
All right, let's hit those final scores. We got, like you said, we got Tennessee heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I'll start this one off. Give me Miami in this one, 31-0.
Oh, God.
Wow.
All right, Kevin is picking the Dolphins over the Titans, 35-15. I'm going to go pretty much that same trajectory, but I'm going to go a little bit higher because even though I want Miami to publicly humiliate Tennessee, I want Derrick Henry to have another monster game. So give me the Dolphins in this one, 31-17.
Give me Miami in this one. They're going to put up another monster number. I'm going to go Miami 35-14.
Okay. And then last but not least,
the
yawner up in the Meadowlands.
Oh, no, wait. Change the score, Joey. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the wrong game. The Miami game, that's going to be closer. I'm sorry. It's going to be Miami. It's going to be 31-17.
Okay.
Okay.
Green Bay. Same score as me.
Yep. Green Bay taking on the New York Football Giants. Give me Green Bay in this one. Give me in this one 27-7. I'll give the Giants a touchdown in this one.
Give me Green Bay. Go ahead.
Kevin's picking the Quackers over the Big Blue Idiots. 21.
That's my favorite team names of the week.
But yeah, give me the Packers in this one. I'm gonna go 20-7.
Wait, Joey. It's got to be said again. What was Kevin's team names and score again?
Quackers over the Big Blue Idiots, 21-6.
And with that being said, I'm going to go with the Quackers over the Big Blue Idiots, 28-3.
Oh.
Matt Ryan, thanks you.
This just in a Green Bay man. The Green Bay man's house exploded when his entire thing of cheese was lit on fire. People said there is debris everywhere. There you go. Nice way to end the show with a dad joke. But man, those are our scores for the week, man. We got them in. Hijacker, once again, thank you so much for joining us as always. And let's see. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up the show for today?
Think I'm good.
I think I'm good too.
All right, let's do it. Final thoughts. Joey Thornton, you're up.
Once again, another great show with you guys. Sucks that we couldn't have Kevin on for the show tonight, but hopefully the Raiders are kicking some butt in the first home game of the season, and I hope the Raiders achieve another repeat performance. Only this time we actually go to the state championship and actually win it. But yes, another great show with you fine gentlemen, and hard to believe that Christmas is coming up in officially less than 3 weeks. It just doesn't feel real. But peace out. See you guys next week.
Absolutely. Holidays coming up very soon here, and we will have a show, of course, December 26th, the day after Christmas. That is for sure. Quick programming note, also to let people know, I mentioned about the Nation's Corner earlier. Nation's Corner will not have a show this week due to most of the hosts being at independent wrestling shows this week, and also enjoying time with family as well, too. So Nation's Corner is going to not happen this week, but stay tuned, of course, next week for when they return. But Steven, you're up, brother. Close it out the way you do.
Great show with you guys. Oh my God, Ari just sent me some bullshit. Apple bottom jeans and apple bottom jean. Get low, flow rider in the style of. Oh my God, little trouble boy. Anyways, with that being said, great show with you guys. Talking about the world of sports, and man, crazy. Like you guys have said, Christmas is just around the corner, and another great show with you guys. And you can follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on Tuesdays on YouTube at YouTube.com/Nation Sports Show. And like Ezra just said, the Nation's Corner will not be live this Saturday, but you can follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Everywhere else on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it is at the Nation's Corner. Be sure to like and subscribe and follow the Nation's Corner on all the social media platforms, and follow us and on all of our social media platforms to keep up with us. And hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and enjoying the wrestling, enjoying the sports. And should be another fine weekend of football action and basketball and hockey and everything in between. And with that being said, Ezra, wrap us up, my friend.
Sure thing, Steven. Thank you guys once again for joining us this week. We appreciate you guys, whether you watch live or on demand. We appreciate your involvement and your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. That way we can continue to build this channel forward. Also, definitely this weekend, this week coming up, some big moments in wrestling coming up this week, including the SmackDown return of CM Punk. Going to be on SmackDown this week. Tribute to the Troops coming up as well. Don't forget to check those out. GCW getting ready to head into the Nick Gage Invitational in a few weeks, as well as the death match, dream match between Nick Gage and Jun Kasai. Check that all out on Fight Plus. Pro Wrestling Revolver had its big show this past weekend. Coming up. It's actually coming up this week. I believe it's called season finale with the main event. Double title match actually coming up. Actually, next show is coming up in January, actually, and it's a double title match between Alex Shelley, the Remix champion, and the world champ Jay Christ. So definitely check that out as well on Fight Plus. And of course, don't forget to check out, of course, ISPW as well, and CCW as well. Also, don't forget to check them out on their respective platforms. Now, with that being said, we hope you guys enjoy the week of sports coming up. Of course, the NFL, we'll have that all covered next Tuesday. Same time, same YouTube channel. So for Kevin Rory, for Stephen Wyatt, for Hijacker Mike, for Randy Gyron, William, and for Joey Thornton, of course, I am Ezra Vickery, and we will see you right here next week with another great edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Be safe. And we're marching closer to Christmas, so everybody enjoy the holidays. We will see you next Tuesday, same time, same YouTube channel. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.